Hello, welcome back. A few things. I apologize for my lack of uploads. It's been like 5 months since my last video. A bunch of things have come up. I honestly just haven't had the time to, but now I have a little bit of time and I want to talk about Kodak Gold. Also, yes, my hair is bleached now, so I think that Kodak Gold is criminally underrated. Coming in at 24 or 36 exposures, depending on which type of roll you get. Kodak Gold is priced around $5 to almost $12, depending on where you get it. Despite this very large range in price, I think it is my favorite of the cheap film. Cheap being the kind of category of like, not extremely cheap. Extremely cheap to me is like colorplus, but cheap film to me is Fuji Superior or Kodak Ultramax or Kodak Gold. And when choosing those three, I often gravitate towards gold. I have shot a lot of Superior, as you may have seen on this channel. I don't like Fuji's kind of green and blue tints that they have. And so I've been gravitating towards Kodak Gold, which has a lot of qualities of sturdy film, despite having a very unique look to it. The colors are vibrant, and the dynamic range is kind of decent. It's not bad, but it's also not crazy good. But why do I think that Kodak Gold is underrated? I think in its price range, it's extremely stylized and has a bit of like unique qualities that Superior and Ultramax do not. Ultramax, for example, is a very vibrant film, but I don't feel like it has its own character. Fuji Superior definitely does have its own character, but at the end of the day, some things come down to personal preference. As the name implies, gold has a kind of yellow, warmer cast to it, so yellow shirts or especially evening light will just pop with gold. However, gold can often look nostalgic. It can look like old film, which may or may not be what you're going for. I personally like that look, but it is definitely present. The photos definitely feel vintage. The grain is a little bit medium size, I'd say. It's not sharp like expensive film like Portra or Ektar or any of the professional other films. Like, it's not sharp. It's very as expected from film, but it's also not like overtly fat. It's not distracting. It definitely is there, but it's not crazy. Additionally, shooting and scanning gold gives you a little bit of versatility. When scanning in particular, I can push the shadows and the highlights a little bit to and even a little bit of the color to get kind of more accurate to what I think the photo should be, or maybe what the photo was, without breaking it. And additionally, when shooting film, I do shoot it at the box speed of 200, which is honestly perfect for someone who wants to shoot at wider apertures during the day. If you accidentally or even purposely shoot one stop under or over when shooting, it still is preserved pretty well in the film. So that's very impressive from a cheaper film. So the photos that I'm sharing today were shot on either my Canon rangefinder 28, Canon 28, the Minolta X570, or this little camera here. It's the Olympus Stylus Zoom 80, which is not mine. It was a loan. You can see it's broken, so this is the story of its downfall. Still very functional, but a lot of the photos you'll see here are from Mexico, and some of those were taken on the rangefinder. A lot of them were taken on this. This belonged to my friend Joseph, who lended me this camera after I hit him up, and I was like, I don't have a point and shoot for the trip. Do you trust me having a point and shoot? And he was like, yeah, like, I trust you. And it's day one, I broke it. It was on my lap. I was sitting on the roof of our Airbnb, and it was just in my lap, and I stood up and it shattered on the ground. But fortunately, it was just kind of the clamshell that opened. The functions were fine and the glass was preserved. So, but that does bring me to a point that I wanted to make, that Kodak Gold is very good with sharp lenses. It's not the type of film where even with a sharp lens, it'll look bad. If you have a good quality glass, like it'll show in the film. It has the potential to look really nice and to even be mistaken for much nicer film, which is why I think it's a great beginner and intermediate film choice for anyone looking to buy film. I often recommend it for people who are new, obviously, because it does give that immediate vintage look. But for a lot of my more experienced shooters and shooter friends, that sounds weird, a lot of my friends who shoot film do use gold. because I'm like, it's kind of a great film for unique looks out of the box and not really thinking about the film. It's perfect for point and shoots. I do recommend it to pretty much anybody, no matter what your skill level is. And because the price right now is so low, usually, like I'm still getting it for $6, which is great. I don't know, I can't promise that on every shop, but it is still in that category. So it's definitely a must pick, must use, if you can find it. So thanks for tuning in. I have social medias in the description. Full disclosure, my camera just died, and I have shot this video like 4 times, and so I'm definitely not gonna reshoot the ending. But I was saying that I have an Instagram that it's called Photo by Robert, but my Instagram has a lot more of my recent photos, that if you want to see that and not wait for new uploads to see any of my photos, you can find them there. And thanks for tuning in, and I'll hopefully get a video back as soon as possible with some new content. So thanks for sticking around.